Okay, so welcome to today's design review, and today I have my two designs ready. I have the first one that says Shabo Multimedia. The brief I received on this logo says is a photography and 3D wallpaper company. And so I would have loved to redesign this, but I won't be able to do that because of time. But if I'm to work on this project, I'm going to play with more of something that shows luxury, because most time when you see wallpaper, all right, it's only used where you have expensive things. And part of how we can depict that on this type of project is to show that expensive look. If I want to do it, I'll play more with script type. All right, I'll make the type the the S of the logo have this script look. Another thing we can use is to use the modern type. Just play with the modern type and then use it to come up with logo like this. Okay. Then the other thing I'll now do again is to put it in a box so as to connect it with the photography part of the what the brand is into. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play with a modern or a script type and then put it in a box to just show that photography part of what the brand is into. Okay, and then another thing again I can do with logo like this is to create a custom type. Most photographers always like something that shows script, all right, something that shows handwriting as their logo. And the reason why most of them always do that is just to show that signature look, like to say, okay, this photography was taken by me and this is my signature on it, just to show that signature look on their project. All right, then this will now take us to our second logo for today, which is Dealing Exchange. So the brief I receive on this logo says the organization is into exchange of funds, payment of local and international service, which is the changing of money. And I understand what the designer is trying to achieve here, which is trying to show exchange, but it's just that the way he now did it, we are finding it difficult to see the icon, or to understand what the icon looks like. Like I always say to you guys, that your logo should have a unique icon. Your logo should have a unique look. All right. Now, please don't make mistake, because I know some of us always make this mistake of making wanting to make a logo tell story. Don't make logos don't tell stories. So, all right, they are just like symbols. Now, that symbol is what will now identify the brand. And most organizations today always want people to treat them with respect. And how you can help every brand to have this respect look is when you make their logo look mature, when you make their logo look simple and classic. If that is missing, trust me, the client won't accept the logo. So this person is trying to achieve D here and still achieve X at the same time, but the way he now did it here is not flowing. Yeah, it's not really working. So we are going to redesign this, and I'll show you what I think this logo should look like. Now, I need you guys to know this, that every concept I come up with is not the only solution to make the logo look right. Okay, there are so many concepts you can come up with, but what I'm just trying to do here is to help you guys with knowing what to put together when coming up with logo design. All right, that's the purpose of this training. Okay, so let's start from the things we're going to put together to achieve the Dealing Exchange logo. So we all know that the company is into exchange of money, and so we need to now show that exchange look on the logo. And another thing I want to quickly say to you guys is, whenever you're trying to combine letters on your logo, all right, you're trying to combine letters and logo, it's not compulsory you make the two alphabets on the logo. And most time when we do this, we always put ourselves in that the trap of not knowing what to come up with. The fact that you see someone design a logo with two letters does not mean you should now do the same thing. And that's when when we don't allow ourselves the freedom to flow, we always find ourselves finding it difficult to come up with good design projects. Okay, so although there are ways you can combine the D and the X, but if you try it and it didn't work, which is why I noticed that this logo is not looking successful, play with one of the letters. And in this tutorial, I'm going to play with one of the letters so as to let you know that it's not compulsory you combine the letters. There are times you can just use one alphabet and then use it to show the symbol of what people can, people see, and then they connect or like the look of the brand, all right, or the logo. So if I'm going to come up with this, all right, now two things you need to check when designing a logo. The first one is the tagline, all right. See how you can use the tagline to build the symbol of the brand. Then the other thing you can do is look for the meaning of the logo, like the meaning of what any word that is connected to the name of the brand. Understand the definition of this and then use it to come up with the symbol for the organization. And then another thing you can do is you can combine both the tagline, and the tagline simply means the slogan. You can combine both the slogan and the meaning to come up with a symbol of the logo. But most time, I always prefer using the tagline, all right? Because using the tagline always creates what I call suspense. And suspense is what always gets people want to relate with what you do. And that's the reason why you realize that movie posters with good design always get more views, because when there's suspense on the movie poster, it makes people want to go and then watch the movie. And the same principle apply to any graphic design project. In fact, movie poster is also graphic design. All right, but it's not only on movie posters. You can also achieve this on logo design. And like I always call my favorite logo design from brands that you all know, which is Apple, Nike. If you check their logos, Adidas, you'll notice that the name of the brand is not even connecting with the symbol. Now we know Apple have the Apple icon on it, but they didn't mention bytes because there's a byte sign on one side of the apple. So suspect is part of what we use to make our logo design interesting. So let's start. So we're talking about exchange here. So we need to look for symbols, icons that show exchange. So one of it is doing this, all right, because exchange is also similar to when we say recycle. All right, similar to recycle. So we can do this, but because we are trying to achieve making use of letter D, because that's just the only letter I'm going to use today, so as to make you guys know that it's not compulsory you combine the two letters for your logo design project. In fact, when you play with the two letters, make one of the letters part of your options. Okay, so if I say this is what I want to do, and I'm going to change the color of my brush. So this, all right, and I merge this with this, like this. All right, so this can still work. For me, it still look boring. All right, so if I go like this, and this, all right, this is still not bad. Okay, so I'm going to do one more option, which is this. Okay, and so if I have this like this, and I have this like this can still work. All right, so what I'm going to do is I would have loved to draw the three options I have here, but because of time, I'm going to stick with this one. Now, no good designer in this world is fast with just jumping, just quickly getting the message. If you don't understand the brief, if they don't understand the brief behind the logo, so you need to first of all digest the brief. After digesting the brief, then you now use it to come up with the logo. And another thing I want to say again is it's possible after sending, after receiving my logo questionnaire from the brand, because that's what I do if I'm working on any logo design project. What I do most of the time is I send the clients my logo questionnaire. So when they fill the logo questionnaire, then I'll now use that to come up with the logo of the logo. So, but if so it's possible that after receiving the questionnaire, it's possible this is not what I'm going to come up with. Okay, so but let's start because of time. So I'm going to go to Illustrator now. So I already have my artboard set, and the frame size of this project is 800 by 800. So like we always do, I am going to turn up my guide. All right, so I'm going to turn on show guide, and I'm going to go to view again, and this time I'm going to say snap to grid. It's always good to snap to grid so that by the time you start putting your content together, your element together, it will, everything will just balance. All right, so then I'm going to make use of the ellipse tool here, and I'm going to turn off fill. All right, then I'll hold down Alt and Shift and drag here. All right, so I'm going to zoom in, and like I always do, I always like to, make sure that my calculation balance. So I'm going to make sure that I achieve 6 boxes here. All right, now listen, guys, it's not compulsory you use 6 boxes. All right, it's not compulsory you use 6 boxes. You can just make sure you make the calculation of your boxes balance. All right, so if I use 6 boxes here now, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to scale this down to 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to copy, and I'll go to edit and hit paste in place. So then I'm going to scale this and make sure that I still achieve the 6 boxes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like so. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy again, and I'm going to paste it. I go to edit, and I'll select paste in place. And this time I'm going to just use 2 of these boxes here, which is 1 and 2. So I'm going to do, or let's just say rows. All right, so I'm going to go with 2 rows here. So I'm going to scale this 1 and 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy again. I'll go to edit, and I'm going to hit paste in place again. This time I'm going to do 4 because I already have 4 here, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. So I'll do 4 again, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out now, and now I'm going to make copies of my shapes here. So the first shape, which is the big shape here, is going to go down. Okay, I think 2 is fine. So I'm holding down Alt. So I'm going to move this to this side. All right, like so. Beautiful. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is to make a copy of this again and do the same move by holding down Alt and do 1. So we use 2 lines here, right? Which is 1 and 2. Beautiful. So we're going to do the same thing here by holding down Shift, drag. All right. Now holding down Shift and drag will give you straight movement. All right. So I'm going to stop right about here where I have 1 and 2. Okay. So I'm going to draw a line here. So I'm going to use this. So I'll start from here, here, like so. This will go from here, here, like so. All right. I'm going to push this up. All right. Because this need to touch this side of this. So I'm going to push it up here, like so. Beautiful. And this need to go out. I'm going to put this out, like so. All right. And let's see. So this need to touch here. So I'm going to zoom in. So this need to touch. So beautiful. Should be 4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale this down by holding down shifts. I'll do 1, 2, and I think it's 4 now, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beautiful. So I'll make sure this is centralized, and this needs to go up. here, like so. So I think we're back at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. I'm going to select the shapes and I'll go to my shape builder tool here, and it's time to start deleting part of the shapes. So I'm going to hold down Alt and I'm going to take this off like so, and I'll drag this out like so. And I'm going to hold down Alt again and I'm going to take this out from here like so. So this should go out like so. Okay, right. This should go out like so. And I'm going to weld this together. So we have this. Okay, so I almost forgot. Now, the reason why I decided to choose this part of this type of shape is because if you look at letter D, all right, you notice that D always have curve. They always have this, this hack shape here. So I'm gonna scale this bit. All right, this is what I'm trying to say. So we notice that letter D always have this, and that's the reason why I decided to choose this type of icon. Remember I drew different type of shapes here, but the reason why I decided to go with this is because I want to continue this flow of the curved part on the letter D. Now, like what I always say to you guys when I'm critiquing your designs on promotional designs, there's something called unity in graphic design, or I'm making your elements, work together. All right. When you achieve unity well in graphic design, it always make our design project look successful. So I'll go back to Illustrator now. I'm going to delete this. All right. I don't like the fact that I have these sharp corners around my shape here because to me, I always look at sharp corners in logo design as something dangerous, all right? But when the corners are not too sharp, like they have the curved part, it looks more friendly. So I'm going to take this out by, dragging this here like so, all right? And this is good, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here, and the next thing I'm going to do is to draw another shape again. All right, so I'm going to position this here and I'm going to use the rectangle tool to draw another shape here. Now notice where I'm going to connect the two shapes. All right, I started from this line where my circle started from, and I'm going to draw this till I get to the middle part of the circle. All right, then I'm going to weld this by selecting the two objects and hit the unite button here to make them one family. And now I'm going to select everything and I'm going to switch to black because my outline or my stroke here is set to black. All right, so I'm going to switch my black to the field. Now we have this. So then what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to position this here, and I'll right click and transform this because I still want, like I said, I want to continue with this my curved part here. So I'm going to hit transform and hit um, reflect. All right, and I'm going to hit the OK button, and I'm going to rotate this way. No, it should be this way, and I'll scale this down. I'm holding down Shift. All right, then this needs to be here, like so. I can even scale it bigger, make it bigger, excuse me, and I'm going to change the color to white, and I'll remove the outline. Now the reason why this is not visible is because it's behind the D shape. All right, so I'm going to hold down Ctrl Shift and close square brackets to make it be above the shape. So I can even make it more bigger by holding down Shift, and I'll drag this out like so, and this should go out a bit like so. Alt and drag to make a copy, and now I'm going to right click and select transform and select rotate, right? Yeah, so then my angle needs to be on 180. Okay, so I'm going to select the OK button, and then we have this. So I'm going to rotate it a bit more like so, and this is still need to go like so. So here, here. So I'm going to scale this down, and I'm going to select this, scale this bigger like so, and I'll use yeah, I'm going to use Monstrat. Now this font is one beautiful font that I just discovered. All right, I got it from Google Fonts. So if you need it, you can as well go to Google Fonts and download it. It's free. All right, I'm going to adjust the leading because the leading, the space between the rows is too much, and I'll adjust the tracking also. All right. Now, when you're doing this, you need to be careful. All right. Don't overdo this to the point where the letters will now be too close to each other that it won't be visible again. Okay. So I'm going to scale this down and position it here. All right. So for the slogan, because this comes with a slogan, so I'm going to type that here. All right. Then I'll change this to regular. And I'm going to scale this down, and this is good. All right. So that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's logo design review. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like, share this tutorial because sharing it is part of how you can be a blessing to other designers. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.